everybody, and welcome back to the channel. In today's video, we're going to be taking a look at the newly released Transformers Netflix War for Cybertron Siege Decepticon SPARKLESS bot. Arguably one of the laziest names ever given to a Transformer by Hasbro, as they could have come up with something so much cooler for this particular paint deco. For those of you who have watched my thoughts and analysis video on the newly revealed SPARKLESS Seeker that is up and coming, I was really looking forward to actually seeing more of that particular colour scheme introduced into the Netflix series, and SPARKLESS bot definitely answered my prayers, as the colour scheme on this figure may just be one of the best that we've gotten from this particular Netflix deluxe assortment so far. Of course, I do have him surrounded by Moonracer debris, as in the series, for those of you who have watched it, SPARKLESS bot does actually tear Moonracer limb from limb, as these are essentially zombified Decepticons that I believe are guarding the Sea of Rust. It was a very long time since I watched the Siege Netflix anime, and it's something that I probably am unlikely ever to rewatch again, as I actually thought that particular chapter was incredibly boring. But nevertheless, taking a look here at SPARKLESS bot, you can see that essentially this is a SPARKLESS barricade. This is the Siege barricade mold, this time done in a much cooler looking paint deco, and I really love what they have done. These Netflix figures, whilst for the most part may just be repaints, are certainly some of the most intriguing repaints that we've ever seen. I think the Decepticon Mirage, the Netflix Voyager Megatron, and of course this guy are all really interesting, and you can see that as far as the sculpt and the paintwork is concerned, it looks really well done and pretty much perfectly captures his appearance from that very brief scene in one of the chapters from the Siege series. You can see that we do have a rather pixelated effect, which of course means that the paint that we actually do get on this figure is 3D printed on, much like we've seen from some of the face sculpts on the Marvel Legends figures. This does appear to be a printed on paint decal than as opposed to an actual spray paint, so I do imagine that the paint on all of these figures will be pretty much identical. You can see that there for the head we've got some really nice looking rust detailing on the actual crest section, and of course the eyes have been picked up in a very nice looking purple. SPARKLESS bot does come with two over the shoulder cannons, which of course you can detach in order to give him handheld weapons. But then as we take a look here towards the torso, you can once again see some very nice looking sculpt work with that golden rust applied over the top. They have given him what appears to be this almost navy green paint application for the shoulder pads. You can see that it's not quite grey, it definitely does have a green hue to it, but I think it works quite nicely and definitely does complement the grey plastic exceptionally well. As we turn our attention here down to the lower section of the figure, you can once again see that pixelated effect, which if anything really does evoke the appearance that we actually saw from the anime series, as it does make these figures have this almost animatic feel to them, which I think is really cool. And then as we take a look here from a side perspective, you can see how they are still using transparent plastic here for the shins. But out of all of the repaints that we've gotten for this mold, I've got to be honest and say that I think this one here is the best so far. Unfortunately, as we turn our attention here to the back, you can clearly see the really ugly looking grey plastic that they have used for the doors, but to me this is just a prime example of how awesome the paint truly is, as when we turn to the other side, it is completely painted and really does look fantastic. As far as articulation is concerned, we do get a ball joint here at the head, which can look left to right as well as up and down and tilt side to side. Full rotation here at the arm, and of course they can hinge out to the sides. Full rotation here at the bicep, 90-degree bend there at the elbow, full rotation at the wrist, full rotation at the waist. Legs can kick forwards that far and back to that far, out to this far. He of course has a thigh rotation, well past 90-degree range of motion here at the knee due to the nature of the transformation, and the foot articulation too is very well done. This can pivot forwards and backwards as well as of course rock side to side. Despite this being repaint 1000 from this particular mold, all of the joints have held up exceptionally well and really do feel as if they are the first production run of this particular mold, which is of course really good to see. Turning to transformation, you can choose to leave these attached. I personally would recommend to detach them, as I actually do want to show how you can combine them in order to form one blaster. So of course just snap them there into place, which will create a 5mm post, which of course you can take and peg into the hand or onto the side of the arm. So there is quite a few versatile ways of which you can store these, and if you really wanted to, you could separate them into individual components and peg them onto any of the 5mm ports on the figure. But transformation, you're going to want to take the waist joint here, lift this section up, take this panel and of course fold this up, take the torso plate, collapse that in just like so, and then bring this up and over. Unfortunately here on my copy I have found this wheel to continuously want to fall off, which is such a shame, but that really is the only QC issue that I have found. We can then rotate this here around, fold up the heel spurs, snap the legs into place, on both sides. You're going to want to bring these sections out, as we are going to want to fill the hollow gaps in the legs with the actual thigh sections. So just compress all of that, clip that in there. We can then bring this here into place, take the arms, and you're going to want to rotate these out and around, ensuring that everything is aligned up appropriately. And these tiny little blast effect ports that we have are actually going to slide into the slots that we have on this torso column. So just snap that in there, and of course repeat the same process here on the opposite side, and of course just conceal the sides with the doors. And there we have Sparkless Bot fully transformed up into his rather awesome looking sports car mode. Of course, as these are zombified Decepticons, we never actually see them transform in the show, but as far as a vehicle mode is concerned, you can truly see how awesome that paintwork has come out. It definitely does look terrific. You can see the mix there of green, brown, yellow, golden rust. Everything just works so well and really does capture his appearance from the show. And even as we turn our attention here to the side, you can see how it does differ from what we get here on the top of the hood. So really quite a nice variety of paint. As we turn here to the rear, unfortunately, we do just have that grey cast plastic, which looks very drab, but considering this character is supposed to have the life completely sucked out of him, I am easily able to forgive that. And if we bring in the weapons, you can just peg them there on to the side in order to really complete his look and have everything stored on him at once. The figure, of course, is able to roll exceptionally smoothly. So overall, that just about wraps up my review here for the Transformers Netflix Deluxe Class Sparkless Bot. I've actually managed to pick up the entire third wave of Netflix Deluxe figures, so please be sure to smash the subscribe button and click that notification bell so that you can be notified anytime I upload a new review. I really hope that you enjoyed this look here at the Netflix Sparkless Bot. As mentioned, I definitely do think he's one of the more impressive Netflix repaints that we have gotten. There are no mold changes actually implemented into this figure, but judging from his appearance from the show, that does appear to be accurate, and I certainly am glad to add this to the collection. And for those of you who were in fact a fan of the Siege series, I can definitely see this figure here becoming a troop builder. I would love to know down in the comment section below on what you guys think of this particular Netflix wave. Are there any figures that you are eagerly looking out for, and what do you guys think of Sparkless Bot? The only downside that I can find to him is that his name is so lackluster, and unfortunately he hasn't kept the name that was rumoured, that being Rusticon, although that is more than likely how I shall be referring to him. I thank you all for watching, and until my next review, I'll see you then. Thanks for watching.